Good morning, I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations, small businesses, and nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they're here to give you updates on future projects. Let's make some old friends today. Yeah. Hope, shelter, transformation. That's the mission statement of the Gospel Rescue Mission. It's 3 words that mean the most to many people struggling. The Gospel Rescue Mission's vision statement goes on to say, we welcome the hungry and the hurting, we address their immediate needs, we build authentic relationships, and we share the gospel so that total transformation happens. The Gospel Rescue Mission states that their holistic approach addresses the needs of the whole person, mind, body, and spirit, working in collaboration with those who are passionate about bringing permanent solutions to the crisis of homelessness. And today, I'm fortunate enough to welcome back Lisa Chastain, CEO of the Gospel Rescue Mission. Lisa, welcome back to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you, Frank.
And we are going to make some new friends today because we've got Bruce Bikeman, Director of Public Relations of the Gospel Rescue Mission. Welcome to Lifestyle Tucson, Bruce.
Glad to be here.
Heck yeah. I'm really excited to have you back. It is the 4th time that we are talking, and I'll tell you, I've been having a narrative thread go through every time that we have a conversation,
It's amazing. Lisa. It's like a novel that just continues to blossom.
That's right. Last time I was riddled with guilt over what I was dealing with when it came to, I don't feel like I'm doing enough to talk to you about what's going on with fighting homelessness. And I have a tough time with it, and I've been fighting. Why do I feel this? Why do I feel that? You're going to be proud of me.
Tell me.
All right, so we were telling you a little bit off air, but I've been working really hard. I had this idea, and there was an opportunity from Groundswell Capital for grants in town for-profit businesses, which is kind of rare. Most grants go to nonprofits. Yeah. So one of them was creating content with a purpose. So I found out that, and I do some video stuff and all that. That's what I taught myself how to do in the past few years. And I know this great lady down on 4th Avenue. Her name's Lizzie Mead, and she runs the Silver Sea Jewelry Store. Mm-hmm. But that's not really what the video is going to be about, because what she really does, she really takes care of a lot of the homeless people on 4th Avenue and a lot of their homeless pets. She even goes around town, especially during the pandemic, and she would make the care packages that you've taught me how to make, and she would go distribute them. She would put on fairy wings, and she would say, I'm the snack fairy. And then they'd be like, what? And they'd poke their head, right? Cool. She's like, here you go. And she was even giving me some directions. Sometimes you don't need to walk all the way up. Just let them know something's going on. You got to always be safe. But they are familiar with her. She's friends with some of these people. They invite her, hey, my dog's in a jam. Can you come help me? She has helped these people. But that's the thing, is they know that they can go to her. So now I'm going to get a grant. I want a grant, $2,000, and we're going to put together over 100 homeless care packages. We got $200 and something for pet food for these homeless pets, and we're going to film a little documentary part of it with the permission of them, because she's friends with some of them, right? Yeah. And we're going to put the word out and maybe even start a movement, #SnackFairy, and try to help as many people as we can as I make a fun video because of thank you to Groundswell Capital. So heck yeah,
That's
right?
Awesome. Wow.
Cool.
You
Pretty
took that
cool
challenge seriously.
I felt really bad. I wasn't doing enough.
That's amazing, Frank. See, everybody can do something,
Yep.
right? You got way imaginative, way out of the box, and you said, hey, it's bigger than, I can do myself, but there's probably funding out there to find. So congratulations on that. That's amazing. That just is the point that everybody can do something.
Heck yeah. You even just reminded me that's my favorite thing you've ever said. So do you remember what I often ask you? But one other thing, you had said that. And that phrase, better than just do it, the number one catchphrase of do something. Because we could all do something.
Right.
One thing, anything.
Right.
But do something. And I remember when you said that, I was like, you can feel the how powerful even that is to just get someone a little motivated. So I hope that I'm helping motivate through this action, through making some media about it, and through, again, talking to you, reminding people of that amazing statement of doing something, because that is the most important thing, right?
Yes, amen.
Heck yeah. So, Bruce, what do you think of this? Huh? Pretty good time, right? It's like a party on Lifestyle Tucson. That's how you make real friends.
I'm blown away. We're moving fast, but no, it's exciting. It's good times,
right?
It's to be. I'm on the newer side of Gospel Rescue Mission and what's going on. I'm just a little over a year, and not even from Arizona. So this has been quite a journey.
Heck yeah,
quite a journey for me in a short period of time.
Well, where are you from?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Oh, and did you just move here recently?
October of 22.
Oh, welcome to Tucson.
Lisa and I have had a 36-year relationship over the years and throughout ministry. And I received this call one day back in the spring of 22. Hey, I'd like for you to come visit Tucson. I'm like, come visit? Well, I'd love to come visit Tucson. She goes, well, for a really long time. So long story short, yeah. So that little visit turned into my wife and I selling our home and leaving our businesses and coming to Tucson to be a part of Gospel Rescue Mission, and it has been an amazing journey.
Yeah, you'll find that when you look at most other places, some places a little too big, some places a little small. I like to say that Tucson's the baby bear's porridge. It's just right.
I love it.
Heck yeah.
I love it.
So let's put you to the test. I've given a little bit of a synopsis of the Gospel Rescue Mission. Why don't you tell us exactly what Gospel Rescue Mission does and what you're all about?
Wow. I don't know if we have enough time for that, asking me to share that question. But so Gospel Rescue Mission is more, and I'm hoping that most people understand this by now, we are more than just a bed, a shower, and a hot meal. Mm-hmm. You know, those things are very important to those who are homeless, but it's just a tip of the iceberg of what we do. We are a program-based mission. So our whole deal at Gospel Rescue Mission Tucson is to take people from homelessness to wholeness, total transformation. And that's why we are a program-based mission. We have a housing program with a housing team. We have a job training workforce program with a team that helps people to get into good-paying jobs. 80% of our residents are there for addiction recovery, but are probably with us for 16 to 18 months because by the time they finish that, they're also going into workforce training so that they can better their lives. So we got a lot going on there for sure.
Oh, it's really great. And not just jobs, but careers. And that's a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Because I have people that I know that are just jobs are one thing, but they need a career.
Right. And and skill sets, right? I mean, some people have just had jobs. You know, we're teaching them not only just, here's how you do your resume and here's how you do online searches, go for it. You know, we're actually providing the training on how you maintain a job, you know, what you do to ask for a promotion, all those things that are just, that are just important for them to, like you said, Frank, build careers and not just jobs.
Mm-hmm. How are you guys different? I feel like you did sum it up a little bit, but I got to hear, how are you guys different from other agencies fighting homelessness?
Right. The thing that makes us unique, and we are unique in our approach because we at the Center of Opportunity are a collaborative campus. What that means is that Gospel Rescue Mission pretty stays focused in our narrow scope of what we do solely. But because of the complexities of homelessness, we have 50 different partners that we partner together with that are addressing immediate needs and obstacles that homeless face and not become successful or independent. So the Center of Opportunity is a very unique campus, housing all of these different entities working together to combat the crisis of homelessness. So that in itself is unique. We've already had 17 different states come and get inspiration for what we're doing here in little tiny Tucson. But, but the porridge is what? Just right, Tucson?
That's right.
But in Tucson, I'm a native and I'm biased, of course, but I think we're so innovative. There's so many things that are being incubated, here in Tucson that other cities are just going, wow, taking interest. And this is just one of them.
Tucson actually is a trial for different things when it comes to road patterns and movement and traffic as well. Mm-hmm. Certain restaurants will try different things in Tucson. Tucson's got a unique atmosphere when it comes to those sorts of opportunities. And I do talk to a lot of obviously great organizations. Some of them are the template for other organizations throughout the country. And other times you guys get inspiration from other organizations that are doing it right in different states. It's always good to see that we're all in this together fighting for the same cause of just trying to figure out what's the best way to address homelessness, what's the best way to address this, solve this, help that.
Sure. We look around and we certainly know it's not solved, right?
Right.
So what can we do? My question that I ask myself on a daily basis is what else can we do? We're doing all these things and providing so much good and valuable services, but what are we missing? Why are people going through our program and still going out and relapsing? Of course, we're human and human nature has a part of that, but what can we do that we might be missing? And so we have some cool initiatives on the conference room table right now that we're kind of trying to put legs to, and I'll tell you that in the near future. But I'm super excited about it because it answers those questions of what else can we do. So we're never satisfied. When we see people on the streets every single day asking for money, struggling with addiction, struggling with mental health, we have to ask ourselves the question every day, what else can we do? What are we missing? What can we do that's relevant today, not just because it was relevant, 10 years ago. So we're all constantly challenging ourselves with that.
Things change fast, obviously, and technology's been changing fast, which works to the benefit of a lot of these situations. Even you getting the Center of Opportunity, how old is it? It's not old at all.
We're celebrating our 5th year anniversary this year. Gosh,
okay.
sometimes it seems like a lifetime, but yeah, we've only been open 5 years. But let me just say, we opened in June of 2019. 8 months later is when COVID happened.
Right.
So we opened for 8 months. We dealt with COVID like everybody else in the world, for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID for us was a little bit of a blessing in disguise because we were so newly opened that it allowed us a chance to reimagine, how things could be better. We literally restructured every single department within the organization during those 2 years of COVID. And so on the other side, we're bigger, better, stronger. And, that it was a blessing for us to be able to reduce the capacity 50% and focus on the infrastructure.
Well, that is huge. And even that technology advance and just coming up with new ideas. And you say the word blessing, it makes me think of what we're doing. We're doing blessings to go. And that idea came up during COVID because you were still wanting to help people, we can't all stay together.
Yeah.
But now that we can stay together, it doesn't mean we still can't help people on the move.
That's right.
So let's talk about what's going on Friday, March 29th. From 11 to 2 p.m., it's your Easter Blessings to Go.
Right. So thank you for remembering that. Yeah, Blessings to Go kind of started, the to-go part started during COVID. We were blessed with so many resources and so much food during COVID that we wanted to be a blessing to the community. So we had so many different outreaches that we started calling Blessings to Go. So that kind of just evolved into our annual events. We have a big food outreach in Thanksgiving and a big food outreach in Easter. And so we kind of kept the brand, the Blessings to Go brand, because we've made it a hybrid event now that we can gather together, but we still want to offer the drive-through services like we did for so many years. So Blessings to Go Easter, is March 29th. We always have it on Good Friday at the H.S. Lopez Family Foundation Center of Opportunity, 4550 South Palo Verde Road. It's gotten more robust the more often we do it, So I used to do an event called Hope Fest, which was an amazing event here in town. So we're making it kind of a mini Hope Fest where we have so many different social services beyond us and beyond a meal. Again, with that theme, like Bruce said, that we're more than a meal. So what does that mean for the community? That you can come for a meal, certainly, and it's delicious and it's amazing. But also we want to meet their immediate needs, so meet the social services that we have there. We'll have showers and clothing and haircuts and, food, pet food, cat food, dog food. Live music, jumping castles for the kids, face painting, fun things. So it's a festival-like atmosphere. Certainly you can drive through and get your meal and resources, but man, come dine with us and, experience the festival and take advantage of the opportunities that are going to be there for everyone.
I remember when you told me about it, the showers, the haircuts, all that stuff. And I'm like, and there it is. That is homeless to wholeness right there, trying to get people up and about, feeling good, getting refreshed. And that's a big thing.
Certainly.
Bruce, let me ask you, last year must have been your first experience at this event, perhaps. Were you at the one last year? How was it? What did you think?
Well, Frank, I'm just going to be honest with you. It was a very emotional time for me. They call
it doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much, Frank. I cry every day at this place.
That's my thing. It's almost like I'm afraid to go cry that much. Yeah. That is my whole thing about it.
Not to get off track because Lisa knows I can, but she knows me better than anybody in Tucson. But every day that I drive on the campus there and drive through those gates into the parking lot, it's a modern day miracle. I grew up as a kid, reading about all these stories in the Word about these miracles. I'm like, well, that was cool. I wonder if we'll ever see that in our lifetime. Well, I witness it every day. Every day I drive through that gate, it is a modern day miracle. to think of an 8-acre campus that provides all of these services with 50 collaborative partnerships, literally changing lives every single day, is a modern day miracle. And I mean that for simply this. How does a place like that survive on the generosity of this amazing community, off the generosity of gifts? Because we take no federal funding. That, to me, from a guy who's lived his whole life in the business world, that's a miracle.
Yeah.
There's no other way of explaining that. And, we're not using taxpayers' dollars, and look at what comes out of it.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
We do not take $1 from the federal government, state, local, or anything.
Yeah, any
It's
government
all donations and gifts by Mr. and Mrs. Jones that are listening to this. Church up northeast, southwest churches, and it's we've got 85 plus staff members, 300 volunteers a week walking through the doors. It's just it's breathtaking. I mean, it's truly breathtaking, and I get to experience and witness on a daily basis lives being changed. I mean, they laugh at me there every day because don't go down that road. He'll start crying. I give tours. I cry. I mean, it's overwhelming in a wonderful way.
Yeah, I think that Frank, you interview enough nonprofits to know that the cause chooses you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily choose it, because if you're not passionate about it, you shouldn't be doing it. So the opportunity to be chosen to have that experience in people's lives and that trust that it takes for somebody to allow us to come and walk alongside somebody and help better their lives, is an amazing thing to experience, like Bruce said. And, we don't take that lightly. We know that, every time somebody walks through our doors, that it could be the only time that they ask for help. Asking for help is
the hardest thing.
The hardest thing to do.
Yes.
It can be humiliating. It can be, degrading. You can be embarrassed by it. So the fact that they trust us, to say, hey, I need help in these areas, is a privilege that we don't take lightly.
Well, that is so huge. And again, your entire organization said, we've now talked, this is the fourth time, and I did not know, because one would assume that you obviously get some government grants, like one would assume, because you probably could, if you applied for them, you would get them, but you choose to not because of your mission and what it's built on, and the fact you have that much generosity. As you say that, it's funny because there's that old phrase of like, oh, it takes a village, right? Mm-hmm. And that phrase gets like kind of bandied about, but when you think about your organization, because there's cities, there's metropolis, like your organization is actually the size of a village when you list that many people. Mm-hmm. And that's why it kind of works, because sometimes when things get too big, you get lost. The mission gets lost. There's too many people, too many cooks. That sort of thing can happen. So the fact that your organization does like thrive and grow the way that it does based solely on the sustainability of generosity is so impressive and does say a lot about it.
Yeah, having been in Tucson, how generous our community is. I mean, we're grateful. We're blessed to live in a community that is so generous. What do we have? More nonprofits per capita than anywhere in the world?
Yep.
So that speaks for itself to our generosity. But man, the community just really, they bought into the vision. They supported it. They kind of wrapped their arms around us and said, okay, let's get behind this. And thank God that they do. And I know that a lot of nonprofits, use government money and it works, not to any discredit with that. There's a lot of missions across the United States that are utilizing it, faith-based missions that are utilizing it and doing it successfully. But thank God that we haven't. Having the use of private funds allows us to not only, our religious liberties, of course, are very important to us, but also it gives us the flexibility to change things up in an instant. Mm-hmm. When you have money attached to a program, then you're kind of stuck with it, or you give them the money back. So for us, having private money allows us the flexibility to have birthed the center of opportunity because, frankly, that's nice, frankly, right? I'm sure I'm not the first one to use that one. We couldn't have done it, other on restricted money because there were so many things that we needed to change up on a daily basis, and we're still changing things up.
That's incredible. Before I move past the next thing, because I want to talk about Arizona Gives Day, because that's a great day. It leads right into what we're talking about, that you can help and donate to the Gospel Rescue Mission. I believe it's going to be on April 2nd. We'll talk about that in a moment. Because what were you looking for when it comes to your big event? Because you have some needs as far as things are concerned when it comes to donations. People can donate food, sure, and people can donate some things. What are some other things that you might need, or some specific things you want for Easter blessings to go when it comes to donations?
Yeah, so let me talk why we're talking about monetary donations, that we do have a $40,000 match right now.
Okay.
So your gift would be doubled in the month of March, and we might continue that into Arizona Gives if we still have a need. But for all your listeners, now would be the time for you to give, because your money will actually be doubled through March. So monetary, we're nonprofit. You know that. We always need monetary donations. For Blessings to Go, we need volunteers.
Love
it's
it.
simple. Go to the website. There's a volunteer tab. Click on it. We just ask for your name and your phone number, your email, and you're done. And volunteers get back with you. And also, we need food. You know, we're preparing 2,500 meals, so we're asking for donations of ham, non-perishable food items that we give away in addition to the meals that we serve, potatoes, and we also need volunteers. And for your in-kind contributions as a whole, we do it 365. So please bring your clothing, your household items, your furniture. Please consider Gospel Rescue Mission as your landing place for those, because they go out 100% free to those that are experiencing poverty or homelessness.
I'm putting it in my calendar right now. What am I doing on Friday on
Awesome.
March 29th? I'm going to go hang out with you.
Thank you.
I'm
We'd
not
love
doing
to
anything
have
that day,
you.
right? Let's do it.
Good,
I'll look for
good.
you.
That's right. See now, and we're making
We
it.
might
See, now
even
I have to.
we might even do an interview.
That's right.
So we have a big day. As you know, Gospel Rescue Mission took on the Good Friday Breakfast last year. So this is our second year hosting the Good Friday Breakfast, which this year we have Tim Tebow. I hate to talk about it because we're sold out. But straight from the breakfast, we go straight back to the Center of Opportunity and have fun with the rest of the great community of Tucson.
Heck yeah. It's going to be a big day. I definitely am not going to miss it. All right. I'm not trying to get into that T-boat. I didn't even know about that. I forgot about that. I remember we talked about that. But yeah, I want to help out. I'm like, it's a Friday. It's the morning. I know I'm free. Before I come and do some of my duties here, I'm going to come hang out with you and finally put my money where my mouth is and come hang out.
You are a man of action, Frank
right.
Powers.
Drop the mic.
So let's not forget, like I was saying, April 2nd is Arizona Gives Day. You can do those tax credit donations. You can go listen to my previous episode with IBE explaining how all of this works. It's very easy. Please choose to donate to a great nonprofit. Maybe you want to donate to Gospel Rescue Mission. Maybe you want to donate somewhere else, but don't waste Arizona Gives Day. It's a great day to get a lot of attention to something you care about. And you heard right here, no reason to wait. March, they're doubling your money, doubling that fund. Let's get it done.
Get it done. And one thing for Arizona Gives, we like to attach a project to the Arizona Gives Day. So our project for Arizona Gives is renovating our children's room.
Okay.
So we have so many kids. Currently, we have about 42 kids at the Center of Opportunity right now.
Okay.
They need a bigger, better place for them to reside. So please donate towards the children's room. We've been doing that for a while, and we have the last $40,000 to raise for us to start the project. So that will all be on the website as well. You can find more information out.
Heck yeah, let's do it. Let's help them out. Bruce, I want to ask you one thing, because I know we were talking a little bit before we got started. Give me a success story, just something that I know you were talking a little bit about earlier, about something that you know is just pretty inspirational that's happened with Gospel Rescue Mission.
Absolutely. Okay, let me gather myself because I don't want to get emotional.
Yeah, I'll do it too. I'll get emotional with you.
Okay. Yeah, let me. So, no, Frank, thanks for asking that. So I'll give you a couple. So early on last year, we had a gentleman going through the program, had lost everything, used to live in Las Vegas. He owned millions of dollars worth of real estate, was married, had a family, lost everything. Ended up at Gospel Rescue Mission, went through our program.
I'm not going to interject, but I am going to say addiction is no respecters of persons.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That is so true.
We've had people that are of, doctorates, PhDs, MBAs, everything in between, because addiction, just being ravished by addiction.
Absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, anytime. Anytime. You are my boss, so you can interrupt me. So, that's quite all right. Well, so, John, went through our program. And, of course, we have the relationship with Pima Community College. He got involved in our CDL driving licensing program, got his CDL license, was hired by a company in another state, and drives around the country making an amazing high-end wage. I'm not talking about just a living wage. I mean, it is a very, very, in today's standards and at any level you are in life, a great wage. He's doing great. He calls me once a month, says, hey, Bruce, I'm in Utah. I'm in South Dakota. Life's great. How is everybody doing at the mission? I just wanted to check in and let you know I'm doing okay. And so there's one. Another one would be just a couple weekends ago, we took 50 of our folks that are in the recovery program. We took them to the symphony.
Oh.
And which is another partnership that we have with Tucson Symphony. And they provided 50 tickets for us to take a guest, and it was just an amazing experience. I was able to go. I was sitting there with them, and, it's the kind of crowd, Frank, that you wouldn't expect they would enjoy that type of environment. They were in tears.
Yeah.
They were clapping, standing ovations. Every one of them came up to either hugged me, shook my hand, said, thank you, thank you, thank you. So it's experience, and we want to create experiences for them that they otherwise would probably never have. Mm-hmm. And so we're blessed at Gospel Rescue Mission Center of Opportunity to be able to provide these types of experiences thanks to these partnerships that we have here in Tucson.
Yeah, and homeless doesn't just mean, you're unemployed so you get a job. You're addicted and now you're in recovery. It's everything in between. It's the little things that matter. It's those being exposed to things they've never been exposed to, because our desire is to take them, for them not to return back to their toxic environment. So how are we going to create new community, brand new experience that they never even had thought that they'd had, and that's their new community, to where they don't want to go back into that toxic community that they came from.
No, it's true. I've talked to, I believe it was Sorrow City Music Theater, and again, they help kids in the same way that are just struggling with who they are or what they're trying to be, and they would never know. But when they expose them to some different form of art, whether it was a musical thing or then a performance thing or then an art-related, some girl just woke up one day and she said, thank you for helping me find who I want to be, and changed from that day forward. And I'll tell you, when you see someone play the harp, you're just moved.
Yeah.
And you never know how you can feel. And
Yeah.
feeling is something that you might even be reintroducing to something, is feeling something.
Right.
Because you really do have to put on a really hard shell to deal with the trials of life when you're in a situation like that.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and something beautiful, like I say, someone playing the harp like that at the symphony orchestra is going to break through that.
Yes.
So that's something. This has been an experience for me, as it always is, because today we made friends with Lisa Chastain, CEO of the Gospel Rescue Mission, as well as my new friend Bruce Bikeman, Director of Public Relations of Gospel Rescue Mission, helping save lives every day through hope, shelter, and transformation. Thank you both so much again.
Thank you, Frank. It's always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you, Frank.
This was Lifestyle Tucson. Bing bong bing, time for a recap. Oh, I love my episodes with the Gospel Rescue Mission. There's just a narrative thread going through this whole thing if you listen to them all, as I'm trying to make myself a better person in the community by helping out the homeless folks in our community. It's really such a big deal. So maybe you want to come help me help them on Friday, March 29th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Center of Opportunity at 4550 South Palo Verde Road. This is free for all, and you don't even need to be homeless to go and get something there. Go get some Easter blessings to go. Maybe come volunteer, maybe donate. Go get all that information over at grmtucson.com. You could follow them on Instagram at grmtucson as well. What a great conversation. I love talking to Lisa and now Bruce, my new friends at the Gospel Rescue Mission. And I want to thank our old friends at the Gospel Rescue Mission for joining me today. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. If you're a nonprofit that would like to be on the show, email lifestyletucson@gmail.com. For more information about this program or to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday Mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, or espntucson.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Audible, or wherever fine podcasts do something. Follow on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Lifestyle Tucson, because I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers. Toot toot Tucson. I love you the most.